It isn't about having the perfect morning. It's about protecting your brain before the world gets to it. And just that little quote changed everything for me. And it changed how I saw my morning. And honestly, my happiness did start to change when I stopped forcing myself to do things. And if I don't protect my brain in the morning, then I'm off for the rest of the day. And I know it sounds simple, but I want you to just hear me out, especially if you've been struggling with your happiness for years or recently and you don't know how to get it back on track. This is definitely going to start putting horse blinders on your brain to make you feel better. The first hour of your day has the power to completely shape how your brain thinks, feels, and responds for the rest of the day. So you may not be a morning person, but taking just 30 minutes or 20 minutes to do this, because the problem is most of us never actually get to experience our own mornings anymore. We wake up and within minutes we're already living someone else's day through our boss's lens, our family's lens, all of these different things. And I don't want you to think, oh, I have to make my mornings productive. I have to check things off my list. Not everyone needs a 5-step routine. If it works for you and it's bringing happiness, then continue doing it, because happiness is really depends on each person. But your brain does deserve at least a little bit of time before the rest of the world starts demanding things from it. And once I started understanding the neuroscience behind mornings, everything truly changed. Have you ever noticed how you wake up, how you get out of bed? Or are you already picking up your phone? Are you already checking Instagram? Are you checking TikTok, emails, all these things, and you just literally opened up your eyes from your sleep? It could be news, it could be text messages, it can be work. All these things go through our phones, especially when our phone isn't on airplane mode or on not disturb mode. We open up to a bunch of different messages. And you might even get notifications like someone's engaged, someone's got a house, someone else has been successful in your circle, and suddenly your brain hasn't even had the chance to do an initial diagnostic of how am I feeling today. It's already asking, how does my life compare to everyone else's? And then it thinks about that, and it could be 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 9 a.m., 5 a.m. All of this information is already going through your head before brushing your teeth. And on the other side, studying positive psychology, I learned that our bodies naturally experience something called the cortisol awakening response. So cortisol really gets a bad reputation because people hear stress hormone and immediately think it's unhealthy. But cortisol actually has a very important job in our bodies, and that's what helps us wake us up. It creates that alertness. It gets your body ready for the day. And the problem isn't cortisol. And I know it's like, lower your cortisol, and I do this to lower my cortisol. Yes, but it is a natural instinct that you have to keep in your body. And the problem is when we immediately pile more stress on top of it, like I was saying, emails, notifications, news, deadlines, other people's success stories, political arguments online, comparing, judging. Your nervous system hasn't even settled into the day, and it's already preparing for battle. It's preparing comparison, it's comparing anxiety modes, stress modes. So no wonder so many people wake up anxious. And one of the things I often hear is, I just don't have the time. I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time to exercise. I don't have time to journal. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to read. I don't have time to move my body. I don't have time. Please fill in the blank that you feel like that you keep saying over and over again. And I do understand. I completely understand. Life does get busy. And I sometimes fall in those loops of like, wow, when was the last time I did my morning routine? But you have to ask yourself, what is your screen time? Sometimes it's 4 hours. Sometimes it's 6. Sometimes it's 8. And I don't want to tell you guys to be guilty of this. This isn't about building guilt. It's about building self-awareness in your routine. Because imagine if even one of those hours became yours again. What would you do? What would you build? What would you change and grow on? Could you finally start that side business? Could you finally read those 10 pages? Can you finally go on a walk? Can you finally do a 20-minute workout? Learn a new skill? Call your parents, call your friends, go and hang out with your friends, go for a drink with your friends, sit quietly for coffee. Like, the list goes on and on and on. And we don't need more hours in the day. We need to reclaim the ones we already have by turning off our phones. A lot of times we don't have time to hang out with our kids more. Well, what's your screen time? I don't have time to work out. What's your screen time? That's my biggest question that I ask people. And our brains love habit. And the more we repeat something, the easier it becomes. So if your habit is always picking up your phone every minute, your brain's going to get triggered and be like, oh, it's time to pick up your phone. And sometimes you might even have your phone in your hand and you're like, whoa. And that's neuroplasticity. Neurons that fire together, wire together. And if every morning begins with chaos or picking up your phone, your brain starts expecting chaos. If every morning begins with comparison, then your brain starts looking for reasons you're falling behind. So imagine if every morning looked different, where you would wake up, you would not check your messages right away. You open your curtains, you go for a walk. And this might be you, yes, waking up maybe 20, 25 minutes early to do these things. But trust me, it will build your happiness skill so much higher. Listening to the birds, taking 5 deep breaths before turning on your phone, drinking your coffee without scrolling, just looking at your house, noticing, wow, so cobweb has been there for a while. I've never noticed that in my house, or I never noticed this color. Even rethinking your mind, what do I need to do today? Instead of, what is everyone else doing today? What do people expect of me today? Because you're teaching your brain something completely different. You have to start training it how to be safe. You have to train it to be calm and present and joyful. And so if you're not doing that, then you're not building skills. You're building your brain to be better at anxiety. So you can't hate your brain if you've been training it for a long time to be anxious or depressed or on high alert. And so I'm not here telling you need a perfect morning routine. Social media loves selling perfect routines. We love selling that wake up at 5 a.m., ice bath, workout, journal, high protein diet, meditate, drink a bunch of water, green juice. We all see it. And honestly, I love seeing it because it's aesthetically pleasing and it reminds me to do all these things. But if it doesn't generally work for you, then don't do it. If it does, do it. Keep doing it. I'm not here to tell you this is what works, this doesn't work. But happiness is based on each personal level. And so protecting your mornings isn't perfection. It's about investing all this money. It's really about intention. Maybe you only have 15 minutes a day. That's okay. Some people might have 30 minutes. Some people might have an hour. Some people might work from line and they don't have to drive in with the traffic. So protect the minutes that you have in the morning. And maybe all you do is stretch. All you do is sit outside or drink coffee without your phone. Guys, that is enough. That's going to be enough to switch your brain around to start seeing it differently. Because it's not about becoming someone else. It's not about reconnecting, with your future self. It's about connecting with yourself right now and pulling in directions that you would like your future self to be in. And we live in such a overstimulated world. That's our biggest problem, I feel, right now in 2026, is our brains can never get silent. The moment we wake up, there's stimulation, music, alarms. You have to listen to a morning podcast. Oh, you have to check your notifications. Oh, there's sirens outside. There's videos. There's the news to turn on. There's scrolling. Our brains are just constantly consuming. So no wonder you can't reflect on how your day is, how you truly feel, how things triggered you or brought things back into your mind. No wonder, because some of your best ideas, some of the best ways to truly understand who you are happens by not looking at your phone. It happens when you're walking, when you're driving, when you're gardening, when you're taking a bath, when you're doing dishes. For me, that's when all my best moments come in. So much science that shows that silence isn't empty. It's not being productive. It's actually the most productive way of thinking for your brain, because that's where creativity lies. And that's where reflection happens. And that's where healing begins. Because if you're constantly doing something all the time, you never have a good moment to reflect on what you're doing. That took me a long time, a long way to get. But we are here today. And I could say from experience that take time, take silence. It's never wasted. And so the next 7 days, I want you to protect the first 30 minutes of your morning. No social media, no emails, no news, and instead go outside, get movement, take your coffee or your tea or whatever you drink in the morning without your phone, without the news on. I want you to maybe stretch or journal or read. If you pray, so pick one thing, meditate, pick one thing, or a few things if you have more time than others, and do that for 7 days. And I want you to either come back to this video or write me on my Instagram, Her Happy Mind, and tell me and what you've noticed, a difference in your mind that week. Because you don't need to change your whole entire life. You just have to protect the beginning of it. And that's all in our mornings. So if you like this episode, share, like, subscribe, you know the deal. YouTube has been around for ages now. And if you think this could be something that someone else can learn, or if you've realized someone else has been going through a hard time or in their unhappy era, send this to them, because I just want people to wake up with a little bit more peace in the morning and protect their minds a little bit more so you can go throughout the day being your happy, confident, calm, hopeful, optimistic, joyful self. Bye, everyone.